Hey guys, my name is Kevy. I am a realtor here with the Real Estate Bay Agency and Williams-Claytor Realty. This is Simone, and we are here with Diaries contract to close. So we're here today with our realtor, Simone. She's going to tell us how she closed her first-time home buyer, Miss Cassandra. So Simone, before we get into the deal, tell everyone who you are and how you got into real estate.
Yes, my name is Simone Cohen. I've been an agent here with Williams-Claytor Realty for the past little over a year now. And yeah, I got into real estate just about a year ago. My sister's the broker here, so it kind of runs in the family. And I previously worked with tenant placement for about a year before I did my toe in the real estate pool, and then I ended up taking real estate classes and got my license.
Okay. That's good to know. So you've been a realtor for about a year. So you've closed quite a few deals. A lot have been more investors. This is your first time home buyer.
Yes, this is my first time.
So as a realtor, what would you say is your approach as a realtor, especially when you're working with first time home buyers? Because I know it's a little different with investors.
So my approach is slightly different, and I was actually just told someone this is that if you are a real estate investor agent, then you will be equipped for um, assisting with home buyers and with their home buying purchase. However, vice versa, if you are only a real estate buyer's agent and not an investor agent, it's actually it's what I guess I'm trying to say is the knowledge that you have when you close on an investor client is sufficient enough to close for a home buyer client. But a home buyer's agent, the knowledge that it takes to close on a home buyer's agent is not sufficient for an investor agent. So to answer your question, my approach would be this the same as if I am closing an agent, except it's a little more hands on because we're both doing the properties together. And yeah, we're kind of together throughout that entire process versus an agent where they're kind of trusting you with everything.
Yeah, I definitely get it. Being a realtor that started with investors, I can definitely say for me, I feel like it made me a stronger realtor when I'm actually with my home buyers. I'm stronger at negotiations. I'm stronger. I know what to look for. So I definitely can attest to that. So you said you closed your first time home buyer, which is Miss Cassandra.
Yes.
How did you find Miss Cassandra?
She actually filled out a form on our website, WCR Realty. She filled out a form, and she said she was interested in being a home buyer. And we scheduled a mapping session, and she came right on into the office.
Okay. And what was her background? Like, what was her situation? Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah. So her background, single mom of two, 18 and 27. She been at her job for about 9 years. She's works in the banking field as a representative for First America Bank, something like that.
Did she already own? Has she owned a home before? Was this her first?
Oh yeah.
home?
Yeah. So that is actually one of my favorite part of Cassandra's journey was because she actually inherited a home in 2006, I believe. And she wasn't, for her words, she wasn't really ready, and she ended up losing the home. Went into bankruptcy, and was really really distraught about that because this is a family home. It's and she had to give it up. So her goal coming in was not obviously buying a home. That's great, but actually taking back what she had lost. And it was almost like gaining that generational wealth and going back into that blessing. So she really, that's kind of my favorite part about her journey was because the moment I sat down with her, I knew, I'm like, wow, she has her intentions are set on just gaining that generational wealth back, and that's exactly what she did. So
That's awesome. So she never actually bought a home, like went through like the financing. She inherited a home, and you said she went bankrupt. So how many years was that?
How many years
Was
was
she
that since
bankrupt?
you purchased a home?
Yes,
It was 7.
7 years. Okay, okay, all right. And do you remember what her biggest concern or hesitation was going into this?
Honestly, she didn't. She didn't think that she was going to be pre-approved that fast.
Mm-hmm.
She had a pre-approval within 24 hours.
24 hours after you had introduced her to the lender, 24 hours after she applied, you got a pre-approval letter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how much did she get pre-approved for?
160,000.
60,000. Okay. And what point did you realize, okay, this can really happen for her? Like, this is real. Because I know this is also your first time home buyer. Like, your experience, this is your first. This is kind of her first too.
Mm-hmm.
When did you realize that, okay, this is about to happen?
Honestly, so when you get that pre-approval, remember the keyword is pre.
Right.
And I wanted to check with the lender. I'm like, hey, did you fully underwrite her? Because there's been a lot of times where, I don't know if you guys see on Zillow or Redfin where it says under back on market due to fault of buyer. Typically what that means is they cannot get funding because they had that pre-approval, but didn't fully pull their credit, didn't fully pull their background and their bank statements. So yes, when we got the pre-approval, definitely had a green light. But I checked in with Steve. I said, hey Steve, is she fully underwritten? Means like you got all of her stuff. Like we can really pretty much we got her pre-approval to an approval verbal. And he said yes, she's fully underwritten. And that's kind of, to answer your question, that's kind of where I was like, okay, I really got the green light. Was relaxed to start shopping.
And how was her emotions and sentiments this whole entire time up until the pre-approval?
Like I said, it was only 24 hours between the mapping session to when she got pre-approved. So it doesn't, I can't really, wasn't a lot of
time to get emotion. She was more shocked.
It was just, exactly. It was just like, okay, wow.
Okay. So you've gotten her pre-approved now. You guys start looking for houses immediately. What was that process like?
Yeah. So after her pre-approval, we started looking within the next, I think it was like, got her pre-approval around Thursday. I think we started looking at that very next week. We started looking at properties. She knew exactly what she wanted. Her range was very, very wide, so she was not picky.
Love that.
And yeah, I think we saw 4 homes and we put an offer in one home and we got outbidded, and then her second favorite, we got under contract. So
okay, so now you guys have seen homes you're under contract. What was that like on your end, getting her under contract for the first time, especially for a first time home buyer?
Honestly, it was very refreshing, you know. I honestly I'm like, I can get used to this because with investor, being under contract with investor clients, there's not a lot. Obviously, there's interaction verbally through the phone, but like I said earlier, it's just more hands-on. So it was just, I can explain it like, I guess you could say it was more exciting just to see, because with an investor client, yes, that is amazing as well. Them, investing in the market, becoming, I think it's 0.2% of the entire nation, becoming that's amazing. But also there's a certain spark you see with the home buyer, like, wow, this is my home, right? So that was really refreshing to see.
Okay. And was there anything about this deal that shocked you, surprised you within the process?
That's a good question. Think about the deal that shocked me.
I know every deal has a bit of challenge. Was there any bit of a challenge that you had to navigate through that you weren't really used to, especially with investors, working with investors?
Yes, so we did run into just a slight hurdle.
Okay.
And that was so this was a flip. So the sellers that um were selling this property, it was a flip and they did it very quick. So I think you can't I mean make sure I got the correct terminology here, but for FHA.
What's FHA for those who don't know?
So the FHA is actually the Federal Housing Authority that assists with home buyers, and they have amazing programs for down payment assistance and things of that nature. So um, FHA requires that it has to be at least 6 months before the seller can uh, sell the property. Um, so to an FHA contract. So we ran into we had to come up because it was they flipped the house within 4 months, which is very beautiful home. Special report was great. They killed renovations, but they flipped it in 4 months. So we actually had to have a second appraiser come out, which just delayed closing just for a few days. But I guess you could say that was, you know,
because you weren't expecting that.
No,
we weren't expecting. So if you flip a house and it has to sit on the market, well, it has to be 6 months before you can sell it. If that's under
6 months. No. It doesn't have to sit on the market for 6 months. So
I mean,
if you are under contract, if you flip a house and you are under contract with the FHA client, it has to be from the sellers buying the property to renovation. There has to be a 6 month time frame. If it's not, there has to be two appraisals. Yeah.
So does your buyer have to pay? Does she have to pay for two appraisals, or does she pay for one appraisal?
She only paid for one appraiser. The second lender went out. I'm sorry, not the second lender. Second appraiser went out. She did not pay. She paid
for one appraisal. Okay. So how did Miss Cassandra handle that emotionally? Because I know that that's kind of a hurdle. I'm pretty sure that you guys were probably within the midst of, because usually after the appraisal, you're about to close. So now you have to hear that I have to have a second appraisal. How did she process that emotionally?
Yeah, so it was a slight disappointment because she had her U-Haul schedule. She was all packed up, and we delayed about 3 days because it was on the weekend. And she was like, "Okay, I'll just reschedule my U-Haul." So it wasn't a deal breaker, but
yeah, for sure.
She was like, it was just a slight inconvenience.
Right. I understand. I've had those before. Yeah. What was the turning point where you feel like this deal is going to close? Like, okay, I can breathe. Because I know when I'm under contract, I can't breathe. I'm like, okay, I can breathe now. What point was that for you?
When we got a conclusion with the inspections. Okay. So, like I said, it was a really good inspection report. For me, I always like to get my clients above and beyond. I always like to over ask. Even if my intentions were just to get a few things, I always like to over ask. So yeah, I was able to excel when we came to agreement with the inspection report.
So this is even before you even found out about the appraisal. You were already kind of like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when the appraisal came, did you feel any?
No, I just knew it was just going to be delayed, so I kind of felt bad.
Felt bad, like it was.
No, I didn't think it was an issue.
Okay. Now take us to the actual closing day. What do you remember about that moment?
Closing day was really amazing. Just to reiterate what I said earlier, I was like, wow, I almost kind of saw her as like a boss mode. I'm like, this lady's a boss because she just really restored what she had lost. Yeah. And just sitting at the closing table, she's signing away. And she had her son there with her. She's like, now I'm going to be able to give my son something, to pass my family something. And that was truly amazing.
I love that. And as a realtor, what did that mean for you at the moment? Because I know when I'm sitting at the closing table, I'm kind of like a little emotional with them. So what did it mean for you?
It meant a lot. It really did. Just to assist someone with one of the biggest, if not the biggest decision of their life. A really important decision. Just honored. I feel honored to even be entrusted with that. So, yeah.
So for someone who's like Miss Cassandra, a first time home buyer, somebody who has a story like hers, needs their they want to feel restored, what's one thing you wish they knew before starting?
That it's a lot more attainable than they think. It's so much more easier.
Yeah. And what do you mean by so much more easier?
Um, purchasing a home. Because what happens is when you don't have the knowledge of purchasing a home, you're delayed.
Yeah.
You're delayed. You're giving your money to a landlord that's getting flushed down. I mean, there's no benefit versus home when you purchase a home, you're essentially your money is it's almost like you're paying yourself to live there because it's the house is appreciating in value.
Yeah.
And whether you pay it off or sell it in years' time, there's always that money. You either get that and more. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that homeownership is a lot more attainable than people think it is. Speaking of that, what do you think is a myth about home buying that this deal basically killed? Like, what is a myth out there about buying a home that this deal showed was not true?
That you need thousands and thousands of dollars to close on a home.
And what you mean by that, I'm assuming that Miss Cassandra brought nothing to the closing table. How much did she bring?
$300.
So you are telling me that we have. How old is she? She's in her 50s.
She just turned 50.
Miss Cassandra is in her 50s. She filed bankruptcy or had to, was forced to because she lost her home 7 years ago. Closed on a home after the holidays, the top of the year, this year, last month, and brought $300 to the closing table.
Which is less than when you rent down. When you rent, is deposit, first month and last month. So it's way less.
Because I'm hearing of people breaking, like my friend, she rented her apartment last year and she had to save like $3,000 to $5,000 just to move into an apartment. And here, Miss Cassandra purchased her home that she will have for the rest of her life that she could pass on to her son and only brought $300. She brought her groceries for the month to the closing table. Wow. Okay, so this deal is actually a part of a bigger vision that we're having here at Williams-Claytor Realty. Miss Cassandra is actually one of the first families that we've helped in our 100 family campaign. And what we're doing here is helping 100 families close on their first homes, second homes. A lot of people who didn't think that this would be able to be attainable. And as you can see through Ms. Cassandra's story, that this is absolutely attainable. You have to have the right team. You have to have the right strategy. And we here at Williams-Claytor Realty want to help 100 families. So if that is you, definitely click the link that we'll have here available for you. Fill out the form and you will be able to be introduced to one of our realtors. Simone is here, and Simone, tell them how they can even get in contact with you if they're wanting to work with you.
Yes, if you are interested in investing or home purchasing, whatever it may be, real estate related, you can reach me on my Instagram page, Sell with Simone, and there you can click the link in my bio to set up a consultation.
Perfect. And if a family is listening and they're on the fence right now, what would you say to them?
If they're on the fence about purchasing a home, it's cliche, but I would just say just do it. Just do it, because one or two things are going to happen, especially if you're a family. The lender is either going to tell you you're approved, or the lender is going to give you some homework. Here is how you can get approved, or you're approved but want just a little more wiggle room in purchase price. Hey, I got you approved for $200K, but if you do this, that, and this, or if you only do that, I can get you approved for $300K. So I would say just go through with it. And the worst that can happen is you get some homework to purchase your home.
Right. And I wouldn't even say that's the worst that could happen. That's the best thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Because at least you know now where you are. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know. You have to get started. If you never get started, you'll never know and you'll continue to rent.
Mm-hmm.
So as we close up, if you could sum up this deal in one word, what word would that be?
If I can't this deal in one word,
what word would that be? Or a phrase?
I would say restored.
I love that.
Yeah, restored.
Restored. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you guys have any questions, if you're interested in joining the Hunter Family Campaign, please make sure you click that link. I am Kevy. I'm a realtor here at Williams-Claytor Realty. This is Simone, and we're out. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Cool.
How was that?
We started. It's 22 right now, but
That's not bad. I think we did a minute.
I'm gonna edit that literally right now.
You have to edit it?
To say,